Did you know that around 44% of first standard students in Karnataka cannot read the alphabet? Not just this, the reading ability of students across all classes has dropped to pre-2012 levels. These are some details revealed in the annual Status of Education report for 2022. After a gap of 4 years, ACER 2022 resumed its nationwide survey across 616 districts. In fact, around 7 lakh children were surveyed for this report. The report gives you a pretty good understanding of how students are faring across the country, and this is especially significant given that learning had switched to online during COVID. So let's take a look at what's going on nationwide and where Karnataka stands according to the survey. What stands out in the 2022 report is that the enrollment rate of students has increased across the country, but their reading skills have declined. The enrollment rate for the 6 to 14 age group has been above 95% in the past 15 years. And despite school closures during the pandemic, overall enrollment figures increased from 97.2% in 2018 to 98.4% in 2022. In Karnataka, although the enrollment rate has increased, it's just by 0.5% in 4 years. This growth was visible in both private and government schools of Karnataka. While the rise in enrollment seems like a good progress, it needs to be taken with a pinch of salt.
This enrollment thing need to be taken in a different way altogether. Particularly if you look at RTE as the benchmark, which is a fundamental right. I don't see, kind of very much, difference in terms of, increase in the enrollment. Like if you look at 2010, which is the starting point for the right to education, which was implemented. In government schools, it was about 72.8% at that time. And now in 2022, we are talking about 72.9, where the increase only by 1.1. After 12 years of implementing the Right to Education Act, but still our, kind of increase is only, 1.1%.
There has been an increase in the number of students taking private tuitions outside of school, but the basic reading ability of students across all classes has dropped to pre-2012 levels. For example, nationally, the proportion of children enrolled in Standard 5 in government or private schools who can at least read a Standard 2 level text fell from 50.5% in 2018 to 42.8% in 2022. There are a lot of reasons that could have led to this decline, the major one being the pandemic. Students had to take online classes for months, which impacted the learning. In fact, a lot of students in several schools could not even attend these classes properly because of accessibility issues. Karnataka saw a drop of more than 10 percentage points in this case. In fact, 44% students in the first standard cannot even identify the alphabet.
But at the same time, this is also a kind of a failure on the part of the state. During that COVID period, all of us, spoke a lot about online classes, digital and all these things. And in a country like India, where hardly about 7 to 8%, people have access to internet, all these things. So we could have, kind of tried, opening classes, at least the small schools. We were opening, restaurants, we were opening all malls and, permission was given to all marriages and all. But when it comes to schools where we have, less than 30 children, 25 children, we were always, kind of giving all reasons. Even today, after 2.5 years, the situation is not very, kind of, really good because we never made, kind of a concrete program to address those, learning loss. If you take Karnataka, for example, all of us were completely on the other, kind of issues, like particularly this revision of, textbooks, rewriting history, things like that, kind of bringing, the issue of hijab, which, has taken away the fundamental right of, children. So there are many issues, that was not priority for us.
Reading ability is not the only aspect that took a hit. Basic arithmetic levels have dropped in most grades too. While the decline is not as steep as reading levels, students' arithmetic levels have still dropped to pre-2018 levels. In Karnataka, 20.5% students of 5th grade could do division in 2018, but the percentage has now dropped to 13.3%. Apart from the enrollment rates, fewer girls are now out of school. Over 10% of girls of 11 to 14 age group were out of school in India in 2006. On the bright side, just 2% of girls are out of school in 2022. Even though Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Chhattisgarh are still areas of concern, there has been an improvement over the years. Some progress can be expected once the NEP is implemented all across the country.